Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to episode 2 of my MyCareer save here on FM24 with Spennymoor Town. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we're going to be playing some football and we're going to see where we end up in National League North at the end of those 2 games. And if you're excited to see how we get on in those games today, then don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me and don't forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so and it'll be the best way to keep up to date with the nonsense that comes out of this face. So, since you were last with us in episode 1, we're doing quite well. As you can see here, top of the league. We've actually not lost a game yet, which is quite a surprise. So that's the run of games we've had. You obviously saw the opening game of the season with Kidderminster and also the next game against Peterborough where we battered them 6-1. Since then, drawn a couple of times, won all of the other games, including some FA Cup qualifiers as well. Biggest game is probably the one against Darlington because they're local rivals. We beat them 1-0. Quite a few games. We've snugged the odd game here or there 1-0, but quite a few games have been goal fests. There's been a couple of close ones. I mean, the 3-2 against Chorley and the 4-3 against Southport were interesting, but they were away from home. So, you know, bear that in mind. But we've done really, really well. Our last game was an FA Cup qualifying round against Warrington Rylands. Now, we've been doing really good in the FA Cup. We've got Gateshead, which will be the second game of today because it is FA Cup, it is 4th qualifying round, but more importantly, they're a National League team. So we can see how we stack up against the National League team. I would suspect not well. Although I think they didn't get promoted last season. They got promoted season before and finished mid-table. So they're in theory a mid-table team, although they are doing quite well in their league at the moment, currently in 4th. So that's going to be a challenge. But before we get to that, we go against Marine. Now Marine are actually 3rd at the moment. We're top. They're 3rd. They're only 3 points behind us. There's 1 loss in it, basically. We're unbeaten. They've lost 1. That's the only difference, other than the fact that their defence is better than ours, but our goal scoring is better than theirs. So, it should be a match made in heaven. So, we'll get into that game and we'll see how things are going. This is going to be the 11 that we're going to be using. Now, I have changed the formation to a standard FM4231. We all know this formation quite well, I know. We're going to go with it purely because it actually fits the players that we have. We didn't really have enough strikers. We also lost one. He got recalled back because we weren't playing him because he was trash. So, it is what it is. But this is the 11 that we're going to be going with. It is Mitchell in goal, Ledger, Yarney, Beals, McGinley in defence, Dyson and Ross in the middle with Lennon, Ramshaw and Richards supporting Taylor up front. We do finally have Isaac Fletcher back. He has been very, very good for us so far. He's only just come back though. Now, inconsistent, does like big games. Against 3rd in the league at home, I'd class this as a big game. But the problem is, the other guy playing in this position, Ramshaw, also not very big, massive big fan of big games. But he has actually turned things around recently since we changed this formation. He's the reason why we changed it. He wasn't really working as a central midfielder. But since we changed to a playmaker in non-league is bonkers to me. But it has worked for us. So, and also Glenn Taylor, we need to have a quick chat about him. 34 years young. He's losing kind of a step here and there. But my goodness me, 12 goals already. And we're in the beginning of October. He's had a madness of a season. I'm having loads of fun with him. Now, injury-wise, the only kind of major injury we have at the moment is Will Harris. He is now injured. He's the big reason as well, along with Ramshaw not working as a central midfielder. He's the other reason why we changed formation, because he obviously wasn't available. And he was playing really well as well. So we're going to have to do without him. So it is what it is. But we'll get into it. One of the biggest games of the season so far. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed it doesn't go terribly. But what will be, will be. If we lose, I'm not going to be too unhappy because at the end of the day, we haven't lost a game yet. We're going to have to lose one at some point. So if it's today, it's today. I'd rather it not be today. I'd rather us not lose any ground at top. But we're doing that well. I think we can afford to eat a loss here today. Now, Marine actually, although they're in 3rd, not the best form, they've only won 2 of their last 5, with a draw and 2 losses also making it up. You can see there, just confirmation. Our goal difference is superior to theirs, and also, obviously, our points total. So, we'll see what we can do. We'll see whether we can get a win. Let's do it, shall we? Come on, Spennymoor. Come on, the Moors. Right, I need to change this because the last game was FA Cup. I can't because it's changed. Never mind. Right, we start with the first highlight. We are definitely a leaky side at the back. It is a thing, but we just every now and then just go on a goal spree. I'm hoping today's one of those days. This guy, by the way, Charlie Lennon, who we've got on loan from, I think it's Middlesbrough, is sensational. You can see there, Ramshaw was not doing that in the old formation. I know you only saw him in a couple of games, but he wasn't doing that in the old formation. But he's getting more involved now, which is really good to see. This Dyson kid is also very good. Header, Ramshaw can't get on the end of it. It comes out. Ledger, who considering he's not the best right back in the world, has actually been good for us this season as well. Yeah, this Charlie Lennon, I want to have a proper look at him. I'm pretty sure he's on loan from Middlesbrough. He's been sensational. He really has been. Like, oh, what a goal that is. There he is, Glenn Taylor. It's such a shame. He's probably good enough. In fact, I'd actually take the probably out of that. He's good enough to be a National League striker. The problem with him is he's 34 years old and his natural fitness isn't that high. So he is going to be dropping like a stone at some point. And when he does, he'll be unusable. So we've got him for a season and that's pretty much it. So we need to bear that in mind, that we only have a limited amount of time with our superstar striker. But that's where Will Harris can come into it, because Will Harris was looking really good. Be disappointed to see Ramshaw not having the best of games, even though he looked like he's been quite sharp at the moment. Right, McGinley manages to cut back, gets on his left foot, goes back to Charlie Lennon. Is he going to go and score? He is, you know. Charlie Lennon. What a goal that is. Non-league? What are you on about? That's quality. 2-0. I did expect this to be... Well, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say I expect this to be a bit more of a challenge. We're only 24 minutes into the game. It could very well still be, but we've started off really well. McGinley, really smart to find Lennon. And Lennon, who's been in such good form since joining us, makes it 2-0. I really hope that he doesn't get recalled because he's playing well, because I imagine that will probably be an option. But he is on loan from Middlesbrough. He's been sensational. He really, really has been. Apologies, that's pause there for a little cough. Charlie Lennon has been sensational for us so far. There's very few players who've been utterly disappointing. The one part of our team, oh my word, how did we not score there? The one part of our team that hasn't been the best has been defensively. Ironically though, considering our weakest player, well, he's one of our weakest players as our right back. He's actually been one of the strengths of the team. He's been such a good outlet going forward. All of the fullbacks have been, other than one, and he's the lone player who we brought in, who can also play as an attacking midfielder because reasons, who is not starting today. I think he might be on the bench. But yeah, most of the players we've got have been really good. We had a great chance at an open goal there and we did not take it. Non-league and a non-league. Really good first half from us here. I'm expecting it's not going to be all our own way in the second half, but for now, I'll take that all day long. I will take that all day long. And we're going to tell Michael Ledger just to calm himself down. We don't want him having a silly red card. I have, as you saw, changed him so he's not going to be hard tackling anymore. I'm going to tell Ramshaw he's not been playing well. I'm actually going to take Ramshaw off and we'll bring Isaac Fletcher on. Since he's come back from injury, he did actually come back from one game where we've experimented with the shadow striker, didn't do very well. But since he's come back, when we've been using him as an advanced playmaker alongside Ramshaw, he's been on fire. All of his goal contributions have come in the last 2 or 3 games. And he's been playing that well. So we'll give him a chance. Michael Ledger isn't going to come off because the option would be to move Yarni and then we'd have to bring Tolson on. And I know that Marine in 3rd place are a dangerous team. So I'm not going to risk that just yet. But that might be a change I make later on. But we'll go with that for now. And let's see whether we can make it 3-0. Fingers crossed we can. Now we start with the corner here, which is good. Dyson whipping it in. Looking for the header Yarni. Can't find it. The way that went, I expected almost a penalty to be given for something. I didn't see anything in there that would be penalty worthy, but the way it went through kind of felt like everyone had stopped play because the referee had blown the whistle. Right, Ledger does well to intercept there. Dyson now driving forward like he does from midfield. He's waiting for options, or is he going to shoot? I think he's going to get a shot here. He can score a banger, but that was not a banger. Not in any stretch of the imagination was that a banger. That was pretty poor, actually. Momentum in the second half so far has been, well, mostly with Marine. It's just kind of settled down to us again now, which is good to see. I'm going to demand more from the boys. I do want to see a little bit more from them in this half. Another goal would settle it. I'm quite content with 2-0, but we all know how Football Manager can be. A 2-0 scoreline is not a guaranteed scoreline. Right, I am going to make the change I was threatening. We're going to put Yarni out to right back, and we're going to change him to a support right back. And take Ledger off for Dan Tolson. No, do you know what? I'm not going to do that, actually. Nah, do you know what? I am, actually. He's not doing too badly. He's 5'11". I'm not doing it. I've changed my mind. Right, Bills can go over. McGinley can go to centre-back because he can do that. And we'll make that change instead. Reece Staunton scored a worldie a couple of games ago, so I've still got that fresh in my head. So we'll go with that, and we'll leave that as it is for the time being. I tell you what, a 5-person bench and 3 substitutions, it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. How did football survive with only that level at the top level of substitutions and players on the bench? How did they survive with none way back in the day? Like, that's utter nonsense to me. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Isaac Fletcher not having the best of games, which should be disappointing. Ollie Dyson as well. He's had a bit of a run of games where he's not been playing that well. I'm going to take him off for Dan Tolson. And we'll give Tolson a few minutes at defensive midfield because he can do the job there. And we'll probably leave it there, I think. Well, we'll have to because it's the only substitution we can make. Because, again, it's criminal. I thought it was going to be a curling wonder goal there, but it's not from Richards. Hutchinson managed to hold on to it with little issue. This has been an easier game than I was expecting it to be. I am not complaining about that, by the way. I am quite content. But I did expect this to be a bit more of a fight. But we've kind of walked over Marine here. Bit of a shame in a way. Because I was expecting a bit more of a tie. But we have utterly dominated them. I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. I think third place in the league, media prediction, was... I'm not even going to say right on the money. I think it was an underestimation. As it stands, obviously, we could bottle it in the middle of the season and just completely wreck everything. But at the moment, we're doing quite well. It's worth pointing out that media prediction in Club Info is actually 7th. So I kind of just YOLO'd it with the transfers. Obviously, I did a good job. So I'll take that. Right, 7 days we've got Gateshead, which is the FA Cup qualifier. They are the first team we're going to be playing who are above us in the football pyramid. I think that's quite an important game, so we are going to come back for that. And with everything we've seen with us so far, maybe we've got enough about us to beat them. I hope so. I kind of want to get through to the FA Cup proper and get a big team and get some money, because already the finances at the club are not looking particularly fantastic. But then we are, after all, kind of in the lower reaches of football where there isn't a lot of money around. So we'll see what we can do with that. Right, I'm going to go away. We're going to get through 7 days and we'll come back for Gateshead. And fingers crossed we can beat them. Or get stuffed. Okay, so if we can get past Gateshead, who are the league above us, the next round is not going to be easy necessarily, but they're both National League North teams. So if we can get through to the FA Cup first round, again, it's not a guarantee, but we've got such an easier task to get from the first round to the second round than we do from the final qualifier to the first round. So that's going to be an interesting one. So we are back for that game against Gateshead. I have upset one of our wingers. Corey McKeown is unhappy with us because he wants a new contract. And, well, I don't really want to give him the money that he wants. I mean, that's our wage budget. Basically, he wants the wage budget. And I don't want to use it all on him. So he's not very happy. He won't accept waiting until the end of the season either. So I'm a bit worried we might be losing him. However, if we lose him, we lose him. We get a couple of £100. That couple of £100 means we can go out and get someone else, which I'm not completely against. He's not starting for us at the moment anyway. Richards from Gibraltar is our starter alongside Charlie Lennon, so I'm not too unhappy about that. Anyway, in terms of the 11, it's pretty much the same 11. The one thing I've realised I haven't done is I haven't done the instructions. I haven't done the player instructions, so give me a moment just quickly do those. The player's instructions done. So it is pretty much the same 11 that we're going to be going with, although I have realised that I haven't actually updated it to be the same 11 because I forgot to move players around. So let me just move you back into there. Ledger's gone down to 2-star, but that's absolutely fine. I don't mind. He's good enough. He does the job. We know what his qualities are. Everyone else is going to stay in, other than Ramshaw. I'm actually going to take him out. I'm going to start Fletcher and give him a shout from the off. Again, we just know what his qualities are like. DeGrucci's the player who's the other right back, by the way. I forgot about him, and he's been mixed at best. We'll put it like that, mixed at best. But that is the 11. We do normally start... I don't know why I said it like that. We do normally start out with a goalkeeper in Henry Popple. Let's call him Harry Popple then. We do normally start him, but as this is a team on the level above, we're going to go with our strongest 11. I believe that is our strongest 11. Well, let's give it a go, shall we? Fletcher starting is probably a bit of a gamble. We probably should start really with Ramshaw, but Fletcher's looked more on the boil since he's come back from injury than Ramshaw has. Ramshaw has been very inconsistent, and as this is a big game, I don't really want to trust him too much with it. Now, Gateshead have been winning all against. They did lose their last game. They have dropped to 5th. I think they were 4th before. They have dropped to 5th, or remained in 5th. But either way, they did lose their last game. So, big game in the FA Cup for us. It's relatively big for them still in the National League as well. Getting through to the FA Cup first round is quite big for a non-league team, regardless of which tier of non-league you're in. So, obviously, this is a kind of a must-win for both of us in terms of financial reasons. Right, Taylor with a header hits the crossbar and it goes over. Very, very close for us getting an early goal there, which is good. But we do have a free kick to Gateshead here. I thought that was going in for a second. Oh, I was almost clutching my pearls there. Goodness me. Right, still 0-0. We've each had an early shot, kind of warning shots across the bow on both sides. But it's fine. It's all good. Now, from looking at match momentum, we are all over them at the moment. And we have a free kick here. Taylor quite deep. I'd rather him be in the box for this one, but it is what it is. Right. He's going to pass it to Ross. Are we going to go for a cheeky set piece? We are indeed. And midfielder Callum Ross has made it 1-0 in the 12th minute. And we might be making it through to the FA Cup proper. Happy days. Happy days indeed. Lovely kind of short corner. Short free kick routine. We do have a short... So, what I've done with all of my set-piece routines, I've got kind of your standard kind of set-piece routines you normally do. But I've got a low chance of us doing a short routine just to try and mix things up. And that's why I do it. Because every now and then you do get one that just works. And that's not the first time I've seen a free kick routine work like that. And I'm really, really happy it did there. Because it kind of makes me happy with that decision. Now... Pre-match tactics. I was warned about throw-ins and we've given away a sloppy penalty. We don't need to be doing that against a team in the league above us. No VAR, of course, so it's not going to get checked. It is going to be a penalty. Now, Mitchell has saved a penalty in this save. He's not going to save on there. Well, that's the end of that. We don't need to be doing that. Now, we were warned in kind of our pre-match tactics setup, you know, where it can tell you whether you want to do focus training on possession, your pre-match focus, what you want to focus on. Set piece wise, it recommended throw-ins because of their throw-ins. Now, obviously, we didn't listen to it because we did train them, and it obviously didn't do anything there. Yeah. Ledger's hurt, by the way, which is a bit concerning, so we might have to do a defensive reshuffle for the second half. It has become a much more even game looking at the stats. Looking at the match momentum, they did take over in that half, so I'm going to say I'm happy with them. Because I am, because we are competing against a team who are the division above. I mean, I'm giving all of the kind of like big talk, but they are the division above us. So I'm going to tell all three of them that they need to step things up. I'm going to tell Taylor that I believe in him. I'm going to tell Ollie Dyson I'm not happy with him. He's actually taken a bit of a step down recently. So we need to do something about him because he was one of our best players and now he's quite average. And Yanni, I'm going to tell him I've not been good enough. I was going to have a quick look at Ledger and his fitness. He's injured. That's why he's... Okay, right. Shift along the defence like we did in the last game and we'll bring on Reece Staunton. We're going to have to do that, I think. And then I am going to change Ollie Dyson. Now, I did actually start playing him as a defensive midfielder on support so he could get forward a little bit more. I'm going to revert to that. There we go. It's already set up for him. And I'm also going to tell him to not tackle quite as hard because I don't want him to get sent off. Right. He's off tackles. He can get forward a bit more. He stays back a little bit more, though you wouldn't know with the goal he scored. Right, that's what we're going to go with. We only have 3 substitutions at this stage of the FA Cup. I do like having a bigger bench, though. Right, let's get into the second half. Let's try and G Staunton up. Let's see if we can get another goal. We've done it once, we can do it again. So, technically, both goals have been set pieces. Okay, one's a penalty, but the other one was obviously our well-worked free kick. Let's see whether we can get back in. Right, Yanni at right back, whipping it in, looking for Richards, doesn't find him, no. I am going to change Yanni. I've left him as a fullback on attack. We'll change him to support because he isn't a fullback, he's a centre-back. So let's try and make sure that we don't over-commit him in an area where he's not going to be at his strength. Right, Dyson to Fletcher, Fletcher into Lennon, and the defender has hacked him down completely and it is going to be a penalty to us. Lennon might be injured though. But it's not covered in injury. We're okay. Right, we have a penalty. Penalties are plenty here at Gateshead. And it's going to be Glenn Taylor to step up and put us back in front. And it is 2-1 to Spennymoor. We lead again against the National League side. Against the team who are doing very, very well in the league above us. That is always a good sign. I mean, I don't think the quality between National League North and South and National League itself is that different, especially like the top ends National League North and South teams. It's just that promotion relegation can be so difficult in those leagues. It's just getting out of that National League. That jump to the League 2, the jump to proper football league is the problem. We might be scoring another one here, and we do, and it's Carlos Richards, and it's Reece Staunton with the assist, and it is 3-1, and Gateshead may be capitulating here. They thought they got themselves back into the game in the first half. They then give away their own sloppy penalty, and we now punish them from open play. The first open... Well, no, it's not the first open play goal, technically, but the first goal was a very well-worked set-piece routine. But now, without any set-pieces in sight, we do make it 3-1. Do we have breathing room? I don't know. It's a 2-goal lead. We know what I feel like about 2-goal leads. It's not a good thing. It's really not. Right, Richards, who's on an absolute flyer today, looking to get a shot through. He does. Curling effort, but Bond makes the save. No fans here, by the way. Absolutely empty, which is a bit of a shame to see. Hopefully some of our fans made it down. Right, big ball forward from their goalkeeper. We intercept it. No, we don't, actually. I keep forgetting we're not the ones in white today. It's Gateshead. Right, back to Bonds. Grayson. I don't want talking about their players. I don't really care about them, but they are passing it around here. The ball is at Booty. Okay, leave that one there. Big ball forward. We managed to head it back. It goes back to Booty. Booty having that ball at his feet. Colquitt now going back to their defence, and they're building from the front. They're literally launching it over the defence. Lovely work there. I thought Bills had given away another penalty there. He hasn't. We clear it only as far as Colquitt. Colquitt with the shot, and it hits the crossbar. Goodness me. We are clinging on to a 2-goal lead here, but it is a 2-goal lead. Right. Charlie Lennon hasn't had the best of games, but he has got a bit of magic in his feet. But Isaac Fletcher also has not played well. I am thinking Isaac Fletcher is going to be the one to make way for Rob Ramshaw, and we'll give Rob a bit of a chance off the bench. There shouldn't be as much pressure on him because we're already leading by 2 goals. So I'm just going to encourage him, and hopefully we can get the best out of him in this game. That would be lovely to see. You haven't really seen the best out of either of our attacking midfielders in this game, or the other game rather, both games. This episode, that's what I meant to say. Get your words out, Stu. So I would quite like to see one of them do something. Charlie Lennon is now going to come up for Corey McKeown, which, I mean, you know, he's a bit miserable at me, so I don't know what good that'll do, but he can be miserable at me on the pitch. We'll swap them around, so I just want to give that a bit of a go. And that will be our final change. And we have got 10 minutes in game to go. They still have 2 goals to make up. Momentum has been all with them in this last quarter of the game. But is it too little too late for Gateshead? And will we be making it through to the first round of the FA Cup against a team that's guaranteed to be in our league that we are currently top of, which is obviously great. Was that Woman? Is his name Woman? I need to... It is. Werman. I thought it was Woman. I've just never seen anyone with the surname of Woman before. I was very confused. It turns out I still haven't. It's Werman. Right. We have the ball. Goalkeeper taking a while on it. Excellent. I'm quite happy with that. Right, Yarni. Getting it down the line to Richards, who's now switched flanks. Richards into Ramshaw. Ramshaw now. Is he going to find Taylor? Is he going to go for it alone? He's going to go for it alone. I think he does, but he shouldn't have, because it ends up being saved. Right. We're going to go disciplined. We're going to slow the pace down. We don't need to be doing anything nuts. And we're going to do all of that, and we're also going to time waste a bit as well. Because what's the point in having these options if you don't use them? It's been a while since I've done a bit of time wasting. Let's do it for the last few minutes. Don't need to be giving them any silly opportunities. We get the ball, we keep it. We've got a corner here. Imagine if we score another one. Taylor with the header. We do score another one, and it's Glenn Taylor again. What a season he's having for us. I'm gutted he's 34. If he was 30, the sky's the limit. He'd be with us for another 2 years, but this is probably going to be his last season with us, I would imagine. But Glenn Taylor with a Dyson corner. Dyson getting an assist, which is good to see. We have got an injury to Staunton, by the way, which I had noticed before. But none of that matters because we've made it through to the proper first round of the FA Cup. Excellent. I am proud of the boys. And that shows we can compete with the team above, the teams in the league above. I mean, again, take it with a pinch of salt. We know that teams who are playing against the team who are lower down can sometimes put a weaker side out. But they will want to do one in the FA Cup just as well as we do. They want to get to the third round where the big teams come in and they want to get a payday. So, you know, they will have made an effort there. Reece Staunton is out for 2 to 3 weeks. That's not ideal, but we can get away with it. Michael Ledger is out for 2 to 3 days. That's absolutely fine. We get a bit of money as well. Not much, but 2 goals and assists from Glenn Taylor. Again, what a season this lad is having. I say lad, same age as me. But he's done well. He actually had a spell at Spennymoor back in 2012-2013. He got a 1 goal in 3 appearances ratio, which sounds better than it actually is. What a little career he's had. He's kind of gone around the block a little bit. He's come to a couple of clubs more than once, but settled here for a long time. I mean, he's obviously... I did look, he is a club legend, so he's obviously an important player, but he's just not going to be here for the long term, and we just need to be aware of when he stops to drop off. But at the moment, he's over a goal a game. He's got a couple of assists to his name as well. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right. That is going to be the end of today's video. Now, we came back after a month and a bit. So, maybe we do the same thing again. Maybe we come back around here. End of December, beginning of January. Maybe we come back around here. What about... I was going to say Kidderminster, but Kidderminster aren't the team that I thought. Because Kidderminster aren't our local rivals. It's another team. It's Darlington. When have we got Darlington? We've already played them once, so it's going to be further down. It's going to be there, so we're not going to come out for Darlington. We'll come back around somewhere in this area. I haven't fully decided yet, but I have a think. Oh, Kidderminster, we played the first game of the season, so that's the halfway point of the season, more or less. So, I don't know. We'll come back somewhere around here, and we'll have a lovely time when we do it. But at the moment, let's just bask in the fact that that is how the league table is looking, that we're currently 2 points ahead in the league with a game to spare. Marvellous. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a big like on there for me. And don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free to do so, and you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.